And we're back with Going Corn after another couple-week delay. Interesting episode here. We got the playoff preview. And we have two special guests on today, along with my co-host. So I'm going to introduce the Earth, Wind, and Fire to my September. Caleb, how we doing?
Sipping on a grapefruit claw. This will be one of the many.
Hey, George.
Oh, hey, there's our second one. Erik Detmar.
Hey, guy.
And Matt Dykstra promptly in there with the third person.
It's a tough night to be a claw.
We have
It's a
two
tough
cases
night.
of claws down in the basement currently.
Corn lung.
We'll see how many claws are consumed before the end of this podcast, if this podcast ever ends. But we're gonna do what we always
For the
do.
record, I'm a guest. I'm no longer a co-host.
You are-
I've self-handedly
shut up.
taken that title off. Thanks.
And we are back in the K-Zone.
Yeah, watch his ass is now gonna produce this as a K-Zone episode.
On today's episode of Fireside Chat.
Why Wiffle now? Because
Because
Fireside
it's
Chat
better
is
than
dead.
the mechanics.
Oh.
Because all the cocaine's gone.
Oh, okay. See ya. See ya.
Yikes. Oh, this is going to be a good one today, fellas. So, we're going to recap the last week of the season. And there we go.
That's a good noise.
That's another claw for the brand.
for the brand.
Anyway, we're going to recap the final week of the season. And then we are going to
Why don't we just recap the season and chat?
True,
about
I guess.
That. Nobody wants to talk about the final week.
True, they were all
Gives a
pretty
shit what
sucky
Tyler
games.
Van Kuiken did.
Hey, screw you.
Screw
Tyler Van
you.
Kuiken was a hero last week.
Was he?
He had a 3-run walk-off home
Oh,
run.
yeah, that's right. It's too bad Zach Heist couldn't have been a hero.
Yeah, true. It's too bad.
He got wrecked by the wrecking
yeah,
ball. That's
it's
the
real
liners.
great that you got to face Tyler Walker instead of Tony. Yeah,
Well, be a better manager.
big upgrade. Yeah,
Thanks.
when he texts me right after we lose the championship game in Morenci, he texts me literally about 10 minutes after that. Hey, I'm going to be in South Carolina this week, just so you know.
I thought he was in Italy.
Who knows? He told me SC.
Interesting.
Better
Could
owner.
SC means spaghetti and clams?
Do they have clams in? That's clam.
R.I.P. R.I.P. to the clam.
Are you going to, so Matt, are you going to get a third team name next year?
Will I be back? That's the question.
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes.
If you're not, I will be
as
sad.
a Lake County liner.
Well, whether Matt's back or not next year, keep squirting. You know what I'm saying?
Keep squirting.
Jesus. Thoughts on the season, everyone? Pretty crazy season. A lot of ups and downs.
Question.
Yeah, is your arm actually here tonight, or is it still on the field? We don't know.
I think it's back in 2016 in the Tim's side yard.
Side yard. Matt's. I'm glad we have Matt on tonight so we can talk about his arm because we've been talking about his arm all season. You know.
This episode is brought to you by Copperfit.
Oh, shit.
And pain pills.
Does anybody remember the lake Tim tried to build back in 2016 in his backyard behind the fence?
A lake?
Yeah, Greg, you know about it.
How
Okay.
big? How big?
So back behind his fence, like where he usually parks his truck, there's a lake. There was like a monster indent. He
Oh,
filled it
yeah.
up with a lake, and he tried to stock it with fish. And he was gonna. He told sheriff multiple times,
Wait,
"Get
I
back there
remember
and
that
fish." And then he just filled it in because he was tired of worrying about Brantley going in the hole.
Dad,
Oh,
get me
Frank.
another jewel pod.
He'd go out there and apparently would have 6 biddies from the neighborhood in the pond in the backyard.
Taking a dip.
The neighborhood Leroy and bitches.
So, I think we saw a lot of. I think it kind of balanced out towards the end of the year. A lot of teams were, undefeated about midway through the season, and then now it's kind of evened out. The Vultures are 6th place, right?
Dead.
DED.
It's gonna be a.
Did they pay yet?
So I asked Quinn this at dinner the other night after Leroy on Wednesday, and he said he just paid. I think like the day before that. So Yes, they
Oh,
will
that's
actually be in the playoffs. So
That's sad.
sad.
We won't see the Bashers there.
yeah, true.
I think they might have been able to make a deep run.
Lord.
No disrespect.
I mean, you look at the sliders in the death bracket. That's par for the course. It's what you expect from them with the first round exit. Jordan's just consistent. Before Jackson was out, I was excited about the Crocs.
Yeah, that
But-
kind of really hurt them.
Yeah. I mean, Bogus still thinks him and Bartley have a chance. I mean, yeah, they do, but
I
yeah. I'd rather have Jackson.
Do they
So,
have faith in Van Kyken? I don't know.
We'll see. There were potential rumors swirling about a Rob Warren for Van Kyken deal, but
Really?
nothing
Well, Rob Warren
materialized.
wants nothing to do with the Liners. I know that's for sure.
Well, I will speak to nothing about these matters.
Matt, do you have any thoughts?
I wish he was still in the liners. I can tell you that because hopefully we could put another 7 spot up on him in the playoffs. That would have been nice. But I don't. Rob's a good player. He just had a rough week against us, a couple rough weeks in a row. So I mean, it makes sense. You got to do something to try and be competitive in the playoffs. And 7 runs in one.
Yeah,
game
you
is-
wanna be good going into the playoffs. No, for sure. You know,
Yeah.
it just sucks. Like when you're on a winning team, you got to know that you got to perform consistently. And if you don't,
And I mean, the risk of 7 runs in 1 inning in a playoff series is just too much to.
and that's why, like for the Bashers, those guys had a lot of fun all year. You know, don't get me wrong. I mean, they had a great time, but then they never performed. So it's like he just kept them on the team, and they didn't perform well. So.
Well, I'll never really understand how you could give up 28 runs in a game and have fun, but hey, everyone has fun in different ways.
You want to talk about a stat booster? That game was something.
That's for sure.
Out of the I think it was 48 runs in that series. I think we tagged Uncle Baki for a good 25 of those. So that was rough.
Come on, Uncle Baki.
He was their
That
ace.
is some bukkake.
Uncle Baki, was that like the war? I'm gonna throw back to
Talk to us about your narwhals, Greg.
the,
The
wait,
fuck
one second,
happened?
1 second. I want to throw back to the Crocs real
Okay.
quick.
Okay.
We missed a name in there. I think Josh Smits has played pretty well this year.
He's been
Yeah.
huge for them.
Yeah, and Caleb talked about it like right after we talked about the Jackson injury. Like he needed to step up, and I feel like he's done that. Like he had a few home runs that helped him win those games against the Barnstormers. So I mean, they still have some firepower. If you can beat the Barnstormers, who's the 3 seed right now, popcorn guy being passed. If you can beat them, even though they've been struggling towards the end, they're still a pretty good team. Obviously, number 3 overall. So, if you, I'm talking Barnstormers.
Barnstormers.
Yeah,
My
the
bad.
Barnstormers.
My fault.
Yeah, no. But, we'll see if they can make a run. Narwhals, though, it's been just another roller coaster season with a lot of roster moves. No one knew Chris Steele was going to be leaving for Florida at the time I picked him up. So
Yeah, it's a tough.
I had to, it worked out because Tony's a way better pitcher than Chris was. And he's just as good a hitter. So that ended up working out for me. It just ended up not working. It stunk that, I just couldn't wait any longer on Vince. He was playing $22 below his salary, I think, I signed him, when I drafted him. So it was just tough to, have that and then have no flexibility to do anything else. So, but now he's close to that salary again, so it goes to show you. But I don't know how much of that is the lineup he's in. And
Do you
stuff
expect
like that.
Buzzy to play playoff innings?
No.
What team is he on now?
The
Me.
Narwhals.
Narwhals.
Oh,
Well, I don't
dropped
think
him
I
to
could
pick
afford
up.
him unless Tony doesn't play.
So then, why did you sign him?
Might have been a little collusion in there.
The wind was blowing to the northwest, or the Leroy wind was active?
I had someone else on my Kermit roster, but somebody else wanted him, so
Oh yeah, I appreciate that.
Who?
I needed
Micah.
I needed a Hollister model on the sidelines.
I picked up Chris Kutavis. Is that his last name?
Chris Kringle.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he'll play, but he's an option.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, you're gonna have your 4 guys out there. But I mean, if you need, I think, the Turtles probably are the best example of having. Probably you're gonna use probably most of their guys on their 6-man roster, right, Matt? Throughout the playoffs, depending on how you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, at least 5. Zach Turpin is.
Yeah,
I think he was on the Sliders, Kermit for a while. And
Yeah,
then
he was.
is
Kermit
that
on the
James's
sliders.
friend?
I think so.
Yeah.
I picked him
Did
up.
he play for your team when we played you? Was that
Yeah,
him?
yeah, that was him.
Oh, okay.
He's a
lefty.
good hitter. I mean, I looked up stats today trying to figure out a lineup for playoffs, and I think he's hitting like 400 something.
Yeah.
But he is the same thing with Rob. What I was
That's
saying
better
earlier.
than everyone on the Bombers.
He could give up 6 runs in an inning. You just never know, or he could give up 0. So
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll play, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
So some teams it matters and some teams it doesn't. Like, I'm sure the Sluggers will be rotating through all their Kermits, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, when John Gibson goes to Miami or something for vacation.
John Gibson is confirmed in for the playoffs.
So biggest collusion of the week, collusion news. Somehow the league gets enough penalties. So Erik needed 10 cents in extra salary before all the penalties hit. And then the Bashers and Badgers contributed a good 75 cents to the 125 that was given out.
Yeah, I would just like to thank first and foremost God for
Yeah, I'm sure he
For
really
allowing
cares
that
about
to
your wiffle ball salary.
for allowing that to happen, and then also the
10 cents.
the Reinhout brothers for writing down their score sheet on the Badgers side. That
Come
Or
on.
whatever it was.
that's for 2 innings. That certainly helped. I think if we looked at the Bashers score sheet, there was more scribbles than actual scores written down. So that was nice. Then also I'd like to thank Sam for finding a ball on every single field. That certainly helped us out. So yeah.
So, Caleb, any other thoughts from the season?
I haven't really said a whole lot about my team or myself, but somehow I'm $8 more than last year.
Gonna have
I don't
fun
know
when
how
you
I'm gonna
can't draft a team. That's gonna be real fun.
I don't know how I'm going to. Like, I did the math.
Caleb's been begging me not to play since I am statistically the worst player in Leroy this year. So
With you, I may have a chance to draft 2 other players.
Cheers.
Because Cole Feldy went from 616 to 1850 in 1 week. So,
Yikes.
see ya.
And he does that without a hit. Confusing.
No, he had 3.
3?
Correct.
Oh.
Including 2 homers.
When did he hit those? Who did he hit those off of?
Turtles.
Well, at least you
Oh.
have the Reinhout brothers.
If they're not an owner.
Huh. So I'm potentially looking at a lineup next year of Caleb, Greg, and the Reinhouts. That will be the 2020 liners.
The disgusting thing is you'll
And at
still
the-
win games. That is the worst part about it.
At the
Okay.
rate that you're gaining weight, Caleb, that could be a heavy team.
We should just name ourselves the Big County
we
Liners.
should just. I'm telling you, bro. Little by little, that's been in the plans. 2022. Look
this
out.
mofo, this mofo's been burning his ass off 2 straight weekends in a row and gains 3 pounds.
I don't know how
I
that
watched-
works.
I watched Caleb probably throw up about 2,000 calories at the NWA tournament, and he still
Gains weight. Yep. It's the Roton syndrome. That's what it is.
It's all the Subway.
I don't know what the hell it is.
Subway's going right to you.
It's pizza box. Bob's.
Honestly, you might have gained some of the calories that Uncle Baki took in over the weekend.
He
Just
gave us.
from-
He gave us
Just
all
got
like
a gravitational
500.
pull.
Just from being around him.
He was
just
handing them
gained-
out.
He just
It's like a lemonade stand.
He just
Here,
put
you
your
have
hand on-
300.
He put
Here's
the
a
hand on
4K
your
for
back
you.
and he just transfers some to you.
Jeez.
Is he still sleeping on that bench in Morenci or what?
He is.
I haven't heard from him in a
What's
while.
going on? He showed up with his girlfriend/wife.
Girlfriend.
I don't.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that on this podcast.
He showed up for like an hour, made some hot takes at Tuck's house this weekend, and just left. Don't know where he went.
Because his
So there's an anti-Baki?
girl, wife, friend, I don't know.
Significant other? Is that
Yeah,
a good
there
way to
you
put
go.
it? That's the term.
Had to go pick up her son, Michael's 14-year-old son, Mike Kubaki's son, you know.
Yep.
Because that's his son.
Yep. Oh.
That's what he says.
Oh, okay.
Not true, but
Is it? Oh,
no, it's his stepson.
gotcha.
Anyway, so,
No, Uncle Baki wears protection. He doesn't have any kids.
I mean, if you want to look up Uncle Baki and look at some of his tweets on Twitter, then you'll see.
Craig's having some Baki takes tonight. Some Baki takes. I'm trying to look if there's anything that stands out from the salary perspective that wows me.
So why were you the team that split every series, Eric?
To be honest, because most of the year we had Jason on our team. By the second game, he was drunk.
Interesting.
By the second game, James's arm was much like Matt's. But I mean,
By that you mean money or what?
yeah, pretty much.
money.
I mean, you could sell it for money. No, I don't know. We lost a lot of away games when I look at it. So I don't know really why that is. Games
Giving
that
up
we
walk-offs?
yeah, I did give up a walk-off, all right? Well, not a walk-off. We actually lost a home game to the Barnstormers because I gave up a home run on my fast pitch, but
And
that was an
Jintaka
yeah,
caught the ball out of the air in
he
the
did.
dark in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We just seem to be a homestand team, which isn't very good because we're a 5 seed. So we'll see how that goes for us. But
Well, you get a little bit of both, you know.
our roster's looking a little bit better than it has during the season.
Yeah, let's hope John doesn't decide to disappear to Antarctica or something.
No,
But anyway, any other thoughts, gentlemen?
I mean, Jeff Borkowski's $14 more than what I signed him for. $35. He's having a good year.
he's
Although I
also on
think,
your team.
I think his hand is also broken, so that's good.
Interesting.
I don't know why Owen Winters is still on the Bombers.
Shout out
Kermit.
Jeff Borkowski, Deer Creek alumni. Always
Because
gotta
at this
get that
point,
in.
I don't think Brett wants to play anymore.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
Although he
he's
wants
done.
to run the golf outing. So that's
piece of
an
junk.
interesting trade-off.
Motherfucker.
For 3 years, Greg
piece
and I
of
have
crap.
tried to run a successful golf outing. And for 3 years, we've either had financial distress, we've either had naked men in the lake, or we've had a unplayable golf course. The first year we went to Oak Knoll, I don't think they had mowed it in weeks.
We had 8 people there the first year.
The first year, Moselle won the 50-50 raffle, 3 of the prizes, and walked away with $30 worth of stuff from the pro shop that I think he just took and walked out with. I don't think anybody stopped him. He just grabbed some shit and walked
Yeah, he
out
just grabbed it. He was
at
just
Oak Knoll. So
Oak Knoll has a pro shop.
it's I think it's
And,
got 2 sets
and
of beginner
restaurant
clubs and maybe a
bar
hat. I
And
think that's about it. And maybe a hat. I don't know.
And then
couple
some
sleeves of
balls they found in the so-and-so fairway.
Yeah,
That's
it's
6 inches long.
it's a ravine. It's either like you're putting off of pavement and you're hitting it off of I can't even explain it, or it's like you're in the fucking forest out there. It's incredible. So I don't know what he's going to do. He said he wants to have it at Palmyra. That would be a mistake. That would be a mistake. I don't know what.
big mistakes.
I don't know. Yeah. Tim seems to believe that somehow we're welcomed back at Summer Tree. I think he's mistaken on that notion. The starter most definitely saw Feeney in the buff in the lake. There's no 2 ways about that one. Whether or not that got relayed back to management is a different topic.
Well,
but
even if that didn't get relayed back to management, Kyle Zeidema passed out right in front of the clubhouse. I'm pretty sure puking his guts out. Management probably got a word of that. They probably saw it with their own eyes.
They probably got puke.
But
on
he
their
wants to come
shoes.
back. He wants
He wants to
round two.
redeem himself.
He wants to
Well,
redeem himself.
Well,
redemption.
He's now gone to Calvin, and
I think it's safe to say Jillian won't be coming back.
wow.
After
Yeah.
that fiasco. She looked very uncomfortable.
I wonder why.
Hmm.
Yeah, we keep saying we want to do all these things over and over and over, but it's like, this is ridiculous. We've lost so much money on that golf outing.
Our bowling event this year, we lost like $80. They made us pay off.
They made us pay off every single person
Person
that signed up on a lane, and there's 3 blank. And
I think we had like
Tim's-
Clifford bowling this year.
Well,
Clifford, the big red
no,
dog on lane 7.
Becca signed up her, Brantley, and Heartland, so they charged us for all of them. They just
Brantley couldn't bowl. He was out buying some pods. The night before, he ripped through all of his mints, and he was out looking for some mangoes.
He's been hitting up Garrett lately, trying to get the mango pods because Garrett's got the hookups.
mango pods. Yikes!
Shout out BD Brantley 420 though.
Rest in peace. Anyway,
Should we talk about the burners?
All right, last thing I'll say about the
yes,
Bashers.
please.
If anybody has their sheets up for salary, just take a look at the actual salary of the Bashers at the end of the year and what their salary was. So their amount of cap they had was $123.75. Grant was fielding a team weekly at $86.15. That's a $38 differential between his cap and what he
And
could
only
be playing at.
only $15 more than Caleb himself. Caleb could single-handedly take down the Bashers.
The thing is, I love Tapper and I love Grant too, but they get mad when we make takes on the podcast. But you feel the team that's $86. What do you? This team just irritates me more than anything else because I want those guys to win and be good, but
That being said, though, I'm glad they had fun because I know Kyle has been shifted back and forth from team to team, and he hates it.
Yeah,
So I'm glad they were not great this year, but at least they had fun.
he was
Because
playing and he had some fun.
the league is a lot better with Grant and Kyle in it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So who cares? I mean, I don't care what their salary was or their record.
I was very sad I didn't get to play them this year because I was in Florida when we played the Bashers, but
They almost beat us.
Well, they did beat us.
how does that feel, Eric, to be the only team that
without the
lost to
Reinhouts,
Bashers?
the league is not as fun. If Grant, you're going to be an owner, give
No,
yourself a chance.
He
put
already
himself
told
in
me.
a
He
huge
told me
hole.
today he's not going to be an owner, but they definitely need to come back.
That's gonna be a tough look.
Who
It's
is
just hard when
Who is Mike Greer?
he's a Tuck guy. Went to high school with him.
Do you even know who Mike Greer is? He's on your Kermit.
Mine?
Yeah.
That's a yikes moment.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty confident.
Oh no!
Well, I'm pretty sure Mike.
Oh no!
If I'm not mistaken, Mike Greer is the guy that when Tim
He
got
looks
everyone
like Grant.
when Tim got everyone together to take a picture last week, we all took the picture, and I'm pretty sure Mike Greer was playing for Brett. Brett goes
Yeah.
back to his field. Mike Greer's just sitting on the bench. He was the only one that wasn't in the picture. And Brett goes, why didn't you go in the picture with us? He said, nah, I ain't about this shit.
Wow.
He said, I need to go play some real baseball.
Well,
So
Oh,
look forward to
man.
seeing Mike Greer in some AA games soon. He's making a run for the MLB.
is he really?
No, but he wants to play real baseball. So
Oh.
at that age, I don't know where else you're gonna find real baseball.
Shout out Railcats.
Real cats. Oh my gosh! All right, so we're gonna take a little break here, then preview the playoffs.
This break
the
is
first
brought
week.
to you by George. Get to the court.
All right. And we're back with the other side as we're getting a little race on here between Eric and Matt. This is the White Claw shotgun race. Cheers, boys. Just hold. So let's
Count
see.
us down, Greg.
3, 2, 1. And the White Claws are being consumed and chugged, and it's Erik by a short.
The ceiling's too low for
Matt confirmed too tall for Caleb's basement.
Segment 2 brought to you by White Claw.
Are there laws while we're drinking?
Well, I'm pretty sure we've confirmed that there's 0 laws in this basement right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to preview the first round of the playoffs and all the matchups. We'll see how this goes. Then we're going to get to that question bag that's 90% Sheriff questions. So,
Well,
shocking. Anyway,
just waiting for the day when Sheriff starts his own podcast.
It won't happen.
never happened. Because he doesn't want to put the time in. Or
Sheriff, come on.
know the ability
Give
to
the
do
people
it
what they want, Sheriff.
Nobody wants that.
and no one will listen to it. Sorry,
Nobody
bud.
wants that.
Anyway, so we're going to start with tomorrow's matchup first. The Sluggers and the Crocs. We don't really know lineups, but we're just going to...
No, we do.
Well, yeah, we know. I'm just saying in
No, I
general
have-
for...
I have the lineups.
I know, just in general for every other team, though.
Oh.
So for tomorrow, we're going to have them probably because they need to be set a day before.
Wait, are you sure? We don't know all the lineups?
Well, I mean, yeah, you Jack.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can give you the lineups to my game.
Anyway.
I've got the lineups for our game.
Oh, yeah. Do you know the Badgers and the
I know your lineup.
the Sliders? Do you?
Trash
know the-
bag,
I know the
Oscar the
s-
Grouch,
I know
Scrub
the s-
2.
Huh, really?
I know the
Interesting.
Sliders lineup.
Bombers.
The Sliders lineup.
And Greg.
Anyway,
Greg.
so the Crocs and Sluggers. Who do we got, Erik?
All right, so 4-seed Crocs. You got number 1 Vogus, number 2 Bartley, number 3 Smits, number 4 Tyler.
Oh.
Sorry, talking about copyright laws here real quick. Just, Anyway.
Cut it out.
Should I do it again?
No, just go.
Greg,
All right.
Greg's
We'll
an
be
editing master.
Yeah, so that's what you got for the Crocs. And then on the Slugger side, you got yours truly, Erik Detmar,
Boo.
number 1, which I'm actually salty about. I wanted to put myself number 2, but anyways. Then we got James Hayworth, Colin Lautenbach, and John Gibson rounding out in the 4 spot.
John Gibson, the 4 spot. Shocking. So, any thoughts on the matchup for these two? Matt, you have the microphone in your hand.
Yeah, with Jackson in the lineup, if he was, I would have some more stuff to say about this, but as is Sluggers in 2. That's about all I got.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to say, considering the fact that the Sluggers have split all season long, I'm going to say that
this is true.
I'm going to say that it goes to a third game, but I'm going to say that the Sluggers do prevail. I think having to overcome Jackson out of lineup is just too much. They just seem to click more with, Jackson. I know Bartley can make up he makes up a little bit, but he just hasn't been playing in Leroy a lot, so we'll see if he can pitch well and then also hit, well enough to keep him in the game, because all 4 of the Sluggers can pitch really well. They throw hard. Colin throws gas, so
Yeah.
he doesn't throw anything crazy, but he throws straight
God bless.
heat, so anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. With Jackson, it's a different story. I mean, Bartley is good. Vogus is a stud. Josh Smits, I think, is playing really well. I wish he was
Yeah.
on my team because he throws a good lefty, little
Oh,
slider.
yeah.
And, I mean, he can hold his own at the plate. He can hit. And then, Tyler Van Kuiken's my guy. They stole him from my Kermit. I'm still kind of salty about it. I wish he was still on my team.
Well, why did you drop him to your Kermit then?
Because of Tim.
Well,
Anyway, so
no, I dropped him my Kermit because he wasn't playing that well.
yeah,
That's the only
honest, yeah.
reason. And I had to do something to try and be competitive come playoff times. So I wish he was still an option for me, but he's not. And yeah, I think when he was on our team, that we cared more about drinking claws than we did about playing football. But
That's fair enough.
Interesting.
I mean, when I look at this matchup as a manager in it, and the Crocs are a very good team. They lost Buzz, which is huge. Really good player. We missed him at Nationals. He can pretty much do everything. Pitch really well. Really good hitter. To film with Bartley is not terrible, but Bartley isn't at the same level that Buzz is.
Yeah.
And I think that we'll see slow pitch from Bartley. I think there's a possibility we see slow pitch against Josh. There's days where he's on and he can hit the board a lot, and there's days where he's off. And then I think we'll see a lot of easy pitching from Van Kyken. At least from what I saw the last time we played them a couple weeks ago. So I think we'll have a lot of opportunities to hit the ball. And then from my team, I hope that I can pitch. If I can't, then we got a problem.
Interesting.
James has had a low ERA all season, and it sometimes baffles me. The guy, I don't know how he does it. I really don't. He'll get to slow pitch actually quite often, and somehow he always gets out of it. He's a good pitcher. He'll always get to a 5 count and give up a home run almost every game. But that's it. He'll give up a solo shot every game, and then that's it. So,
and that's not bad if you can keep the runs down.
right. If he can give up the 1 run a game that he's been doing, the way he's been hitting this year, I think that we'll be able to make up for that.
yeah, no, he's definitely fine. If he gives up 1 run a game, he's gonna make it up from his base running alone.
Yeah.
He can hit a soft ground ball, and he's gonna beat it out every single time.
Right.
Go from first to third, and then next at bat score.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you look,
every single person on your team is fast.
yeah,
I don't even know how many runs you've scored just off of that alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think, we've only played with this lineup in 2 games against the Barnstormers, and we killed them the first game, and then the second game we lost in extras.
Close game.
Yeah, close game in extras.
A little tired there, Greg?
Nope.
I think my
Greg.
lineup is more dangerous as a hitting
Yikes.
lineup.
But the big
So-
X factor here, Mike Greer.
Yeah. Mike Greer, huge addition to our team.
Fun
No.
fact: Erik didn't even know he's on his team 10 minutes ago. So
That's not true.
100%
I've
true.
had a plan this whole time. Mike Greer was a part of it. I knew I was going to snag him last week. I knew he'd be right there, so picked him up just as I expected, and he'll be there as a filling up our water jug. So that's what we're looking for him to do. He'll hopefully be very
Anyway.
good at it, and we love to have
Caleb,
Mike
any
Greer on it.
thoughts?
I'm going to say Sluggers in 3.
Okay. All right. Lots of little words from Caleb there. He's too busy on Instagram.
It's over there.
So
It's a lot
we're
to do.
going to move on next to the big event of the playoffs, I'd say, and the first big event, and that's going to be the death bracket. So we're going to start off with the top seed versus the bottom seed, which happens to be the Badgers versus the Narwhals. So, fun fact today, I got added to a Snapchat group at about 9 a.m. this morning. The Bush League Badgers Snapchat group. Don't know why I got added. They asked me for lineup advice, and I'm playing them. So that was very interesting. So, don't know what their lineup is going to be, but on the
Think I'm gonna
roster
throw
is Jeremy, Jared, Marty, Bo, Cam Verlon, and Sam Stahl. And my whole roster.
Will Bo be making an appearance?
No, he's still in Cape Cod till
he's
like
in
the
the Cape?
12th. Yeah. So, oh, yeah, if he makes it back,
What in the world are they going to do without their director of wiffle operations?
I think
hell does that even mean?
that might be the issue with the Badgers, honestly. Bo's been in fucking Cape Cod. They don't know what the fuck to do.
They don't.
Jared's been lost. He has
That's
no
not
clue.
that's not his role. He's manager only. It's Joe Madden without Theo. I don't know what's going to happen. That ship is sinking fast.
The Narwhals have Buzzy, Tony Lucido, Justin Deckinga, Zach Heiss, Alex Clark, and yours truly, the worst player in the league this year.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Thoughts?
Well, with Big Papa, anything's possible.
Thoughts on the series?
I just want to throw it back to when the Dutch ovens got beaten by the fucking
By the
free agent otters.
I still blame
should
Jack.
we do a roster breakdown on that one? Is it Jake
Al
Van Buren,
Friedman.
Al Friedman with
Shane
2
Anderson, Jake Van Buren,
Ryan Barnes.
Ryan Barnes.
Oh, wow.
Barney Rubble was on a... Can we take this into perspective?
Nothing will haunt me more than Ryan Barnes rounding the bases and talking shit to me.
I remember that very
flip-flops.
vividly.
Take this into perspective. I think Barney Rubble was on the Sliders roster for over half the season this year.
He played the opening week.
He played against me. He showed up, talk shit for a game, and then left halfway through. He said, "Kylie, we're out." So, yeah, we're going.
His crew was there.
Exactly what happened.
Crew was there.
When he shows up, he brings 4 girls with him. He's got a freaking posse.
Was he wearing slides?
I don't know. I don't know if he was wearing shoes.
He's wearing sandals in that Dutch ovens game. That's for sure.
Wow.
That
What a
was the worst
storyline.
thing. That was when we didn't have lights really either. That was a sucky.
Okay. You should have
Yeah,
beaten
no.
that team blind. You could have been blind and beaten that team, Greg.
Well, we just decided not to hit the second game.
Who was the fourth player on that team? It was you, Jack.
Kyle Jansma.
Yeah,
I forgot Matt.
we got 2 of the Dutch ovens on this freaking thing. Matt
Wow,
was
that's
this close to making the best catch in Leroy history. That would have saved the
That's
inning
embarrassing.
and would have reset our pitching lineup.
I think James Hayworth owns 4 of the 5 top catches in Leroy history.
When you just jump over the fence, I don't know if that qualifies.
I've got 2 of them off Tom.
In the same inning.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That caused Tom to flip a bench. True. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's-
that Dutch
I still blame
ovens.
Jack.
Ugh. I don't know how it's Jack's
I think
fault,
we need
but
more wiffle
No, I just-
content in
I
this
just
podcast.
I deflect all the blame away from.
I don't know. We should have been so much better. Kyle Jansma lost his pitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
but
throwing
yeah,
like a
he's
lob-
better than me, right?
Lob ball. Yeah. True.
That pitch would get absolutely
That
dicked
offense
this year.
was a juggernaut.
Thoughts on the 2015 Honey Nut Ichiros?
Greatest name in Leroy history. I'll give him that.
That is by far the greatest name.
Won NWLA Name of the Year. I think that was also the same year Carl Coffey won Wiffletarian of the Year. So at Ice Cold Takes exposed.
So,
Where is Carl Coffey?
okay,
Anyone seen
Narwhals
Hopefully in
Badgers,
rehab.
guys. Here we go. Narwhals Badgers. Thoughts on the matchup? Who comes out of this
JK,
game?
love you, Carl.
Who comes out of this one? I mean, without Bo, Badgers might be in some freaking trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. They might be in trouble, but without Bo, the Badgers definitely win. It doesn't matter if Bo's there, Craig. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, but we do have to take this into consideration with Sam doing the drinks and picking up balls the entire time the game's going on. He might be MIA during his inning that he has
Well,
to pitch.
he's not
and-
going to be airing up the tire on the mower. I know that.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. He might have. Jared might just have to take max runs that inning because he'll have no idea where Sam is.
So stats in my view for Badgers Narwhals, I'd say Badgers in 2. I'm going to set the over under.
Game.
Oh, it's a 1 game. Badgers win. Over under on
Still Badgers in 2.
Badgers in 2. Over under on benches tossed. I'm going to say 4, and I'm going to say
I'm gonna go
expletives
over.
shouted 10.
Oh, definitely over.
I hope the series is played on the corn shed, so that I don't have to see the absolute bloodbath that this game is going to be. Greg, I'm sorry, but
Fuck you
just
guys.
it's going to be a bloodbath.
I think this is the first time I've openly cussed this bad on the podcast.
No,
Well, fuck y'all.
I think all death bracket games should take place on the corn shed.
False. That's
Please.
That's
please.
a false take.
Please.
That's a yikes. I think with Tony there,
Just don't peel
we have a
out
good
of the
chance.
on the road.
Oh jeez. Yeah, at Cam Verlon and Sam Stahl. Wow.
All right, Greg. I want to
I
hear
don't know,
your
my
honest
Honda-
take on this game.
My Honda CRV
What
was
you think
really
is gonna
cooking
happen,
down
you
the
versus
road.
the Badgers. Give me your honest take.
I think it's gonna be a closer game than people think. The last time we played them, it was a 1-0 game, which Sam gave up the walk-off, and a 7-0 game, which Sam had 8 ground balls hit at him, and he could not make a play but once, and he didn't throw it to me, and he threw it out of play. So all 7 of those runs were given up by him, or by me, because of that. He even switched fields. He was in left field, and he switched to right field, and they hit a ball at him, and he couldn't make the play on that.
That's just good whiff.
Yeah, but
I do have to
so-
say, as a turtle here, you have been consistent this season on just dropping your shorts and shitting on my team on this podcast
absolutely,
while boosting your team up.
absolutely.
The Badgers are going to drop their shorts and just shit on you.
Interesting take.
Prove me wrong.
So, here's my take on it. Without Bo, he's in the COD. Without Bo there, I think the Badgers will win by 44.
That's not statistically
What
possible.
lineup are you
but-
rolling out, Greg? You need to clap back here.
What are you talking about?
What is your lineup?
Greg, that
Not
is
telling you.
statistically possible because we play 6 innings. You can score 8 innings a game. That's 48.
8 innings a game. Wow, that's yikes.
Or 6 innings a game. That's 48.
Who are
Anyway.
you? What is your lineup? Why does your lineup
It's-
gonna matter?
It's going to be
compared
the
to what
4 that have
yours?
always been there. I just don't know what order it's actually in yet. It's
So-
Tony, Zach, Justin, and me. So those are going to be the 4 I'm going to roll out there. I just don't know what order yet. Tony is a great hitter, so if he gets a slow pitch, hopefully we can get him, he can hit a few home runs for us, get us some runs there.
Well, Jared is ass at pitching. So,
The last time we faced him, too,
although if he
He
gets
was
that
throwing
slurve
a
working
little-
like he did at Nationals, oh
Thing
my
was kinda
goodness.
cooking.
That thing was
he
filthy.
threw 1 strike out
Sheriff.
of about 50. So
Sure, figure it out. Let's go. We need a 4 next
Well,
year.
you and
Come
him
on.
will cancel each other.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting, huh?
All right, I
So-
think we've all made our decision on this game. Greg, you even think you're going to lose?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Narwhals win by 3.
Win
No
by
shocker
3?
there.
Win by 3? How are you going to win by 3 when they score 44?
47-44 final.
We gotta know
You
will the
betcha.
wind be present because Greg loses
Tony
to the wind.
Lucido, 47 solo shots.
Yeah, the wind will just change when the narwhals are up.
Well,
It happened in the Magic
For once,
against
they'll
the
get their
Billy
wind in
Goats.
the side.
the Leroy Wind will have to discuss
So,
that.
the Badgers are rolling out a lineup of Cam Barlon at the 1, Jared at the 2, Sam at the 3, and then the Leroy Wind at the 4. So
True. Well,
It's game
unstoppable. Yep. Sorry.
best 4 in the league.
Anyway.
Well, Kevin
The other
Currant-
matchup, Sliders,
Kevin
Bombers.
Currant is just going to really dick on the Narwhals, along with Kyle Shaft and
Why didn't you pick up Seth Vanhoff to your Kermit? Could have played some innings for you.
what about Ethan Breezehold? Huh? Ethan Breezehold is really going to get a hold of you.
So, Sliders.
So,
Sliders, Bombers.
oh boy, I don't even want to make a prediction.
Do
of
we
this
do we
shit
know
show.
if they're bringing out the backdoor sliders
The
or the front door
Bombers-
swingers?
The
Do we
Bombers
know?
have Owen Winters, Brett Detmar, Kyle Schaff, Jason Hilligans, and CVG versus the Sliders. They have Robbie Moselle, Austin Warner, Ethan Beeshold, and Jake Van Buren.
Before any takes are made on this series, I'm bringing one of my wiffle ball shirts to give to CVG so I don't see him in another Windmill Brewing shirt. It's been 7 out of the 8 weeks that he's come.
Okay, but his dad owns it.
Okay. We get it. It's a brewery that's popular. Wear something different.
I don't wear a Metro shirt every week, and that's my damn team name. There's a turtle on the back, and I don't even wear that.
That's fair enough.
Shit.
That's fair
I
enough.
didn't know his dad owns it. Why isn't he sponsoring the league?
Well, I don't know.
Shit.
The
We have to
PR.
get in touch.
Yeah, come on, Caleb. You're the
maybe
PR
that'd be the
guy.
best idea for me to get in touch.
Their PR. That's not. You'll end up having a wedding in their damn fucking gym.
Maybe Jack Hilligans can get in touch. Nope. Got rid of that one.
Well, he smokes like a PR. We know that.
Just want to thank our sponsor, Heritage Christian School. Oh, yikes. All right, I'm done.
And Marlboro.
Can we talk about wiffle ball, please? Jesus Christ.
And Ram trucks. All right. I'm done. Don't dodge it.
Shut up. Here we go. Sliders, bombers.
All right. Sliders, bombers.
Bombers.
There's no way Brett loses this game. There's no way.
If Brett loses this game, he's not getting invited back. And we also aren't having the golf outing. So.
We aren't having the golf outing.
We aren't having it regardless.
No, okay. On the real, if we want to get some real wiffle content in here. Sliders. Robbie was a good pickup. I don't think he'll play that well for Jordan. Robbie's a guy.
If he plays,
right, if he comes. If he does.
who knows if the Bruins are having a cookout. Robbie's out. See ya.
So,
Am I wrong?
Well, he showed up about 20 minutes late with his first games with the Sliders against the Narwhals, and yeah, he didn't do too great.
He was always on time for me.
Interesting.
That's all I gotta say.
Interesting. But when you look at this matchup, at the names, I think the Bombers should win this. When you look at the players that are on the team, it just comes down to CVG. He was really not great last week, so
it's a possibility it was a shirt. I mean, you look at the Bombers 1 through 3. I think it's as good as nearly any 1 through 3 in the league, and that might be a hot take, but I think it is, especially from the
Jason
mound.
is a 3. Yeah, that's not.
Especially
I would
from
say 2 for sure. Kyle and
the
Brett.
top 2 for sure.
I think
yeah.
I think Jason's overlooked. I had him on my team for a while. He's a good pitcher. He is.
Why'd you get rid of him?
Because he got John.
'Cause I got John
and
Gibson
Colin
instead of him.
Monarch.
That's true.
Yeah. I think they have a solid 1 through 3. It just depends on how many runs Carter is going to give up. If he gives up 8,
Yeah.
the Bombers don't have the hitting
Yep.
to get 8 runs. They don't.
Yeah.
The Bombers
Schaff is going to really need to be a great hitter in the death bracket games.
Yeah.
Brett just needs to teach him how to pitch without making it look like he's throwing a shot put.
Yeah.
Who, Carter?
Yes.
Yeah.
He teaches everyone and their brother how to throw sidearm. And CVG's out there looking like he's freaking huffing an 80-pound ball. Like, what the hell? Get him to pitch sidearm. He's athletic.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
That's beyond
I don't know.
me.
Maybe I'm grasping here.
I mean,
No,
it's true. If he needs to pitch well because the Maniacs shit on them last week.
Really? Was it
Well,
bad?
like Kevin said that. I mean, that's what.
the Bombers can't give up more than 3 or 4 runs. They
True.
can't. The way that Brett's hitting, they can't.
And they can shut down that lineup.
Jason's their best hitter right now.
And it comes
Better
down to
than
the
Schaff?
Sliders.
Well,
This-
Schaff didn't play last week, so
No.
forgive me on that. Schaff's a good hitter, but Jason was their best hitter last week. I just don't think you can have that.
I just think I look at CBG and I'm like, athletically, he should be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Like,
So-
he has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just don't think anyone has
Worked with him.
worked
When
with
it
him
comes
at all.
down to it, I think Bombers win. I think it's just too many question marks on the Sliders for me. Jordan looked good in 1 inning out of his 3 they played against the Narwhals a couple weeks ago. Like really good, and then he struggled in the other 2 innings he pitched. So I just don't know if that. And then you never know what you're going to get with Jake Van Vuren. Jake Van Vuren, even going back to that Dutch
Going
oven
to the
series.
hole, guy.
So
The
if you look
clawing hole.
if you look back at the 2017 playoffs with Jake Van Vuren against the Ovens, he didn't give up many runs at all.
There are rumblings.
2017, Jake Van
Greg's
Vuren
pissed.
was very good against the Dutch Ovens, and then the next week he played the Badgers. He gave up 3 25-pitch home runs. So you never know what you're going to get with that. So too many question marks for me for the sliders. So,
No, I agree. I think there's. I just think with Robbie and Jake, they both can be very good pitchers. They both can be very good players. Jake's not gonna hit the broadside of a barn with his bat, but I just don't think there's enough firepower to overcome the 1 through 3 Bombers
Yeah.
pitching. So I think the Bombers do come out of this one.
well, I think the majority for both the games were Badgers and Bombers. So we'll assume that that's the championship for the death bracket. Who do you have there?
Badgers, Bombers. That'll be a decent game. I'm still gonna go with the Bombers. I think that when push comes to shove, I think Brett will try to help Carter as much as he can on the pitching side, and I think the Bombers will keep the Badgers to a low amount of runs, and they'll be able to produce a little bit. So I think I got the Bombers about 4-2 in that one.
Lineups reset for the second.
No, they keep continuing.
Really? So.
Yep.
So Brett's 3 and 4 will start the first game of the set if they win.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
So he
I
needs to
might
be.
go with,
So that's the thing with the death bracket, especially. You have to be really strategic about who. Like, are you going to angle for that second game, thinking you're going to win, or are you going to go guns?
Well, I
to
mean, the Badgers
guns
are in a
blazing
great
the
place because they
first.
played the Narwhals.
Funny.
I
my
might,
take.
I might go.
If that's the case,
I
I,
might
would
go
go
Badgers. I'm gonna go Badgers then. I'm a big Bomber guy, but I gotta go Badgers then. If that's the case.
To see the Bombers lose in the death bracket would honestly break my heart.
I wonder why.
Badgers in 3.
This guy's an asshole. Anyway, I think my opinions are that whoever comes out,
popcorn guy.
whoever comes out of the,
Another one.
whoever comes out of the Badgers Narwhal series, I think wins the death bracket.
I would have to go buy more.
Just because of what we've been saying. If the Bombers are gonna put CVG at 4, but he's gonna have to pitch the second and the 6th inning in that second game if they're in there, or if it's Jake Van Vuren and Austin Warner, you're looking at potentially a lot of runs given up. So that's my thought. So if we're sticking on Badgers, I'll say Badgers win the death bracket to then get slammed by the Maniacs. So bada bing. Anyway,
Well, that brings us into the Badgers Maniacs then, if that's the case.
well, we're not going to talk about that necessarily. We'll just
Okay.
preview the rest of the.
Okay.
So let's look at the Liners matchup next, since we have the owner here. Plus, it is the 2-7 matchup. Actually, we have both owners. Yeah, that's right. So the Liners are bringing in the roster of Caleb, Zach Mills, Rob Warren probably won't be playing. I know. He's called
Bueller.
Mills.
Bueller.
Mueller.
Caleb Youngman, Mills, Rob
Zach
Warren,
Mueller.
Jeff Borkowski, Chris Katavis, and Cole Feldy versus Scrappin' Turtles with Maddie, Brian Travis, Alec Gerlach, Shane Anderson, Zach Turpin, and Tim Wilcher.
Mueller.
My thoughts.
Zach Mueller.
My thoughts are, I think this can go to 3 games if everyone pitches well for the Turtles and they can just scrap through a few runs off of Cole and Mills. So that's my thoughts. So I'm gonna say though, Liners in 3.
I would just like to put in this. The scrapping Turtles did not go to the death bracket, even though they drafted Tim Wilcher as their first overall pick.
I will take that pick
That's
to
a
my grave
travesty.
that was a good pick. To my grave.
If I recall, Matt, after putting that pick in, you came back to the table and you said, "Why the fuck did I just do that?"
Might be true. I think I said I don't give a fuck.
Shallow grave.
But I will take that pick as it stands now to my grave.
No, Tim did play very well this year.
Tim was my best player, like, not statistically, but he was my best player, like, as a 4. Well, he didn't pitch in my 4 spot, but he was my 4.
Value
Amazing 4.
Yeah.
Amazing 4.
Yeah, I agree.
He played a lot better, and I think we've talked about it multiple times. Him not being an owner is a very good thing for him, and I think for the league too. It helps just kind of balance out everything else. He doesn't have to worry about making moves, even though I know he helped you a lot with that. But, you know,
I mean,
I
if
think
White
that's
Claws
helped
didn't
him.
exist, the Scrapping Turtles could be in the 1 seed for all we know.
True.
bold
We
take.
kept.
Go.
We kept. Has anyone seen Al?
We're looking for Uncle Al. Has anyone seen Uncle Al?
We kept Sam's claw business single-handedly going throughout the season.
That is true.
Anyway, we're gonna take a short break again. All right, we're back. Still talking. We're still on somewhat a delay. Caleb's nowhere to be found, but at his
talking
own
about our
house.
series, and Caleb isn't even here. So.
Yeah. So
Well, he would just say liners in 2.
yeah. So, and you talk about him being a good player and blah blah blah, and Mills has been good and all this stuff.
Mueller.
Yeah, whatever. Mills, Mueller.
Bueller.
If you say the same thing at the bar to him, if you say Zach Mueller or Mills, he'll answer to both. So there you go.
Big bar guy, huh, Greg?
Set 'em ups. You should try it sometime.
Never
since
been.
you're-
So yeah, my thoughts on this series. As a 7 seed, 11-11. We're a lot better. Our roster's a lot better. It's changed a lot recently.
Yeah.
Than 11-11. We split with Caleb last time. That was against Rob Warren. So Burkowski was not there. But Mueller and Feldy, Rob Warren was there.
Yeah,
That's not what I
he
said.
was there. Jeff was not.
Jeff was not, and then
But
Mueller
taking
and
his
Feldy
place.
were.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mueller took the place of.
Okay, yes. So we
Jeff.
split with them. I don't know if we scored any off of Mills. Feldy, we got some runs off of. It was a majority Warren.
Yeah.
So I think our roster, I can just say what our lineup is. It's Brian Travis, Alec Gerlach, Shane, me, I believe.
A lot of hitting up at the top.
That's a very good hitting roster.
Yeah.
We can score some runs off of this team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to
We have the ability to put up zeros.
Yeah.
So, I'm our worst fielder, and I'm not horrible at fielding. The other 3 are fast.
Yep.
We have the ability.
Shane's a great fielder.
And Alec made a lot of good plays against us too last week. So
we have the ability to field well, pitch well, and hit well. And if we do all 3 of those, who knows where the series could go? When you play Caleb, he has the ability to carry the entire series. But
And playoff Caleb is always different too.
it's
And
all
he would have said that too.
Yeah, it's always hard to go against Caleb. Just it really doesn't matter who he has on his team. He's gonna produce runs.
Yep.
It's just a matter of can you produce runs as
You
a
gotta
team.
keep-
and-
yes,
You got to keep the ball not in his happy zone.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
and keep it low. try and get some ground balls or pop-ups rather than
Yep, and he's going to give up zeros pitching. He might
Yep.
give up a lucky homer or something.
to Matt Dykstra probably.
I mean, Brian Travis did hit a home run off of him last year in the playoffs.
True.
So you got two
so
guys.
Matt's
You got two
just
guys there.
angling for that home run
Yeah.
off Caleb, huh?
You got two guys there that have hit homers off Caleb. So you
Yeah.
never know. But
I mean, all
um,
4 of my guys can hit fast pitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
I mean, I don't know where to go. If it wasn't my team, I have to pick my team, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say us in 3.
Yeah, I think it'll be, like I said, I picked the Liners in 3, but I think it's going to be a very close series. I think
Yeah.
out of the bottom 3, out of the Vultures, you, and whoever makes out of the death bracket, I think this is going to be the most competitive out of those 3 series.
Oh, very
I
much
would
so.
agree.
I
Yeah.
Because then the 4 or 5 obviously is going to be a very competitive series. But out of 6, 7, 8, I don't think those are going to be very competitive, no
Yeah,
matter
I mean, I
who
think-
comes out
I
of the
think
death
the barn-
bracket.
Well, we're going to get to that. So
I think
Yeah.
that's a very, very tough.
What is your prediction for this series, Eric?
Yeah, I think it's a very tough draw for Caleb, honestly. He doesn't have the firepower that he's had in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He'll always keep the other team to a small amount of runs. He always has the ability to do that. But I think that the Turtles here have a good pitching roster, and I think that they can all hit really well. So I think that Caleb's gonna most likely put up zeros. You never know, maybe 1. I think Jeff's been pitching pretty well this year, but other than that, I think his bottom 2 are going to give up runs to the Turtles. I just can't seem to get myself to go against Caleb in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Nothing
soft, but
yeah, nothing against you there, George, but
Big guy.
hey, George, yeah, we're going to rip that box open.
I do think the game. I do think you guys can grab a game. I think it will
Yeah.
go to 3, and I
Yeah.
think.
And I-
that third game, anything could happen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it all comes down to can you hold Caleb off on that? Because he'll be the first one going.
Right.
So can you
Right.
hold that inning off and get to Jeff?
Right.
Because then
Right.
when Jeff's pitching, Caleb's on the field.
Right.
So you got to rely on
If
Zach
you get
and Cole to be their fielders
right.
for.
If you get to that second inning of the third game of that sudden death game, I think then
That would be the opportunity.
that's when anything can happen.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go with the Liners in 3 here.
So
No hard
We're gonna-
feelings there. That's a fair pick.
we're going to move on to the last series of the first round, technically, because we won't talk about the Maniacs. I think that's just too much of a, like, that's
too far of a stretch.
too far ahead of time.
I agree.
But so the Barnstormers and Vultures here. So the Barnstormers have changed their lineup a little bit throughout this year as well. They are ending out with Tuck, Feldy, Gags, Ian, Galalala, and Matt Zarowski. And then the Vultures have Garrett, Buzik, Matt Kimmel, Quinn, Tyler Walk, and Luke Hilligans to choose from. Why they jumped on Tyler Walk so quick? No clue. But thoughts, Eric?
I mean, I'm a big fan of any team that's represented by the Hoosier Haulers. Thanks to Garrett and his dad for buying his jerseys last year. Love the Hoosier Haulers. But this Vultures team just doesn't have it. Garrett's the only one on this team that I think can consistently give up no runs. Other than that, I think anyone can. Dave was really hot at the beginning of this season, and since then I think he's fallen off a lot. I mean, I know my team was able to put up a lot of runs against him. So I just don't think, with how good of a pitching team the Barnstormers are, that the Vultures will be able to score enough runs, because they're gonna give up runs with how bad at pitching the Vultures are in their bottom
3,
2,
4, yeah.
in their bottom 2. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Barnstormers in 2 for sure.
I agree. I'm going to make this really easy and just say Barnstormers in 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. The only thing is, Feldy has had a little bit of issues pitching the last few weeks, so that might be the only issue for them. But I think this is a good first round matchup for the Barnstormers to try and get it right a little bit. Hopefully Feldy can learn. He says the scuff balls are the problem. He loves throwing the clean ball, so he's the opposite of Matt Dykstra. So we'll see if he can kind of figure it out.
George,
They
you can't
need to
throw a
be-
clean ball?
For them to be deep into the playoffs, they
No.
need to have their pitching be excellent, like give up no runs, because I don't know how well their offense is going to be able to score runs.
Yeah. No.
Like Tuck's been very good hitter, especially towards the end of the year here. Gags has had a really good season, and Ian has his times.
Yeah.
How do you do hitting against you? Or,
Well,
no, never. Yeah, well, you played him again.
Yeah.
You got to play him his first week, and then
Yeah. When I played him against the Barnstormers, he didn't really have a good hitting day until he hit the go-ahead homer in the extra innings off of my fast pitch, which I kind of think was a look what I found. But hey, that's just biased a little bit. I think the
the first time he played.
Yeah, I think the Barnstormers are not a very good hitting team, but their pitching is very good. So it's going to be
Yep.
how far will their pitching take them? I think
Yep.
that's how it is for the Barnstormers. I think they'll easily pass the Vultures, but going deeper into the playoffs,
Yeah.
we'll see if their hitting can pick it up. If not, I think they're going to run into some problems.
Well, you've looked at the Bombers teams that won those back-to-back years. The pitching was always the thing that carried them through, and even when Caleb won last year, his pitching was pretty good for the most part. Hayworth and Deckinga didn't give up a lot of runs, and Alec was pretty solid. So,
Who?
hey, welcome back to the podcast. So,
Yeah, good to be in one piece.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The pitching can kind of, that's going to be the thing that could be a difference factor for the Barnstormers and carry them really far. But if their pitchers don't perform, then we'll see how far they go. But I'm going to say the Barnstormers have an easy matchup here to take 2. So, Caleb, thoughts on this matchup? Or if you have any thoughts on your matchup as well. We kind of covered it, but
No.
okay.
What's this matchup?
Vultures, Barnstormers, sorry.
Barnstormers in 2.
Okay, cool.
I don't need.
Yep. That's what Matt did too, so.
I mean,
It's that easy.
Yeah.
that's BS.
I said, Caleb, would you agree with the statement that out of the 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, that yours and Matt's is the most competitive, or going to be the closest?
Yeah.
Because the 8-1, I don't think will be. Whoever faces the Maniacs, I don't think it'll be.
I think Matt and I's series depend on how many slow pitch counts I get and how well Cole Feldy pitches.
Yeah. And we kind of touched on that, but I just want to see what you thought of that
I
statement.
think that's everything else you pretty much know. Like, I mean, if
Yep.
we hit Alec like we hit Alec the week like last time, I mean that changes the game. But
Don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was an anomaly in my opinion. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what Mills and Cole can do come playoff time. Mueller.
Mueller.
Yeah.
Bueller.
Come on. Anyway, so that's going to do it for all the matchups. So let's go ahead onto Twitter and see if there's any.
Are we in the question bag now, Greg?
Yeah, I guess there's not any there. I don't know.
Will the grass be mowed?
Matt, your thoughts?
I plead the fifth.
I think that question completely depends on the status of the Leroy mower.
Well, really, it's the status of the Leroy win going into the back tire. It's really the status.
Come on.
I'll have to get in touch with Kyle Shaft and see what he and Ethan Breezehold.
Kyle Shaft and Dusty Divot, or
And yeah. Oh yeah, Dusty Divot's in there.
Dusty.
and Dusty Divot, or
Oh no.
how many claws will we go through? As many as Sam buys. That's the answer.
Wait,
Are we
did
talking
Jared-
about tonight or on Wednesday? Tonight we went
Tonight.
through two
I had
packs.
2 cases.
2 cases.
Which is coincidentally the same
4
amount
people.
that Sam buys for the fridge, which should be about quadrupled. Because me and Tim buy a case every week, so that leaves 1 for the rest of the 70 people that are there.
I have to be honest. I really dropped the ball this year on not getting White Claw as a sponsor of Leroy. I mean, I am head of the sponsorship committee, and we've given them a good $2,000 worth of business this year. So I don't really know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, that was a big miss.
And there's another one.
Ride the wave, you know.
Ride the wave.
So, I thought you said Jared was asking questions. I don't see any questions.
Twitter.
Will Bread make an
Where?
appearance?
Underneath your going corn thread.
I see 0 questions.
Just go ahead and check it. He asked 6.
You probably can't see it because you probably blocked him.
Wait, did he?
Like you blocked everyone else.
How is that possible though?
Oh,
Because then he wouldn't be
I
able
could
to
tell you.
read it. You dummy. Come on. Oh, goodness.
Well, we
I-
got a
yeah, I
question
also
from the
don't
Naughty
see-
Norwiches.
I see 0 questions on this. Anyone help?
I also
Big yikes.
see 0 questions.
yeah, I also see 0 questions, but
Then they got deleted, I guess.
will Bread make an appearance is a question.
Will the turtles be squirting?
So, yeah.
Big yikes.
Is the death bracket more entertaining than nationals? Depends what game you're watching. I would say if you're watching Flapjack, no.
It's the
Okay, here's the one legitimate question we have from Kevin, who is not in the All-Star game but deserves to be.
Brett Detmar.
Brett does not deserve to be in the All-Star game.
Yes, he does.
still $40
Brett does
player.
not give a shit about this season.
That doesn't matter. That's not a part of it.
Brett should be.
Then you too. Then
I
you
do
should.
not deserve to be in the All-Star game because I don't give a shit about this season. I don't
Brett-
even know who's in the All-Star game.
You got to go to the
Brett-
Facebook page.
Brett is the most unhittable pitcher in the league.
He also doesn't hit.
Ooh, actually, Brett's only $36 this year.
And he hasn't come to every
Okay,
week.
but you can't look at
Oh,
salary
here
because
we go.
that's how we decide who's in the All-Star game.
Here are the All-Stars. Caleb Youngman, Alec Gerlach, Andrew Feldy, Cam Barlan, Dave Buchik, Eric Detmar, Garrett Lytle, James Hayworth, Kevin Brogue, Kyle Gagliardi, Ryan Bogus, Vince Carullo.
All very deserving. If you're talking about people that should be in the All-Star game but did not perform that way, I think I don't know.
You can't. You guys are seriously gonna tell me Brett doesn't deserve to be an All-Star? I'm saying not. I think deserve is the wrong word. You gotta say Brett should be an All-Star.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay, well, look at Bartolo Colon. Okay,
here we-
should be an All-Star every year he throws. He's a hoss, but does he get elected? No. Right?
Right. I agree.
I do. Okay, so, I mean, you could make an argument for
I've got
Kyle
too many
Schaff.
claws for this.
Maybe Kyle Schaff.
Yeah, I'd say Kyle Schaff more so than slightly more than Brett. Now, if you're talking, it just comes down to that perspective question. Do you say
Maybe Mike Greer?
Brett? Yes, Brett should be on the All-Star
Right.
team
That's what I'm saying.
because of his past performance and how
I think that's what the question is.
great he is in this
'Cause
league.
Lucas
But
Miedema.
because
his performance
Get him
this
some
year
trail mix.
has not suggested they should be.
Mark
Okay,
Pell.
but
That
you can't-
perspective.
But you can't go by
They'll
that
send
because we don't
messages.
use a vote. We use salary. If we used a vote, then the question would be different.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying.
Nick
Right.
Bray.
It's just a matter of how you look at
Right.
it.
This guy needs to
Anyway, so that's all the questions we got because the Twitter doesn't exist on 3 other phones but Caleb's, apparently. So
The farmer across the way.
Jackson Buzea deserves to be an all-star.
Yeah,
absolutely.
he should be an honorary.
Can I wear his jersey since they didn't let me wear it in the all-star game at Nationals? Can I wear his jersey now?
Well, you had your own.
Yeah, but I wanted to wear his.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it.
Do you have his Roches? Those are.
I don't have his Roshis. Do you have my Oakleys? Because I lost those there.
You guys got my box?
Hey, guy.
Well, we finished both of the boxes here.
Are we going to Cedar Lake after this? Trying
No.
to chat with the Brazilians.
They're gone. They went back to Brazil.
Shit.
They're in Brazil.
All right, I think
Are
that's
they on
enough for this
Facebook?
podcast.
They're gone.
So, for
No, we weren't done talking about the All-Stars. What about Joey Rivera?
for Matt and Eric
No,
and
no,
Caleb,
no.
Greg, we still got about 15 minutes of content.
It was nice joining you guys. Bombers are the 2016 Bombers are the best team in Leroy history. Have a
That
good
is a great plug. My plug for tonight.
yeah, plug something.
Oh, I can plug something, Greg? Or are you going to
Just-
turn it off on me?
Do you see my hand on the stop thing?
I don't know. I can't see the fucking laptop from here, Greg.
Can you see my hand now, bitch?
My plug.
What about the 2015 Fantastic Four with Nathan Zeidema?
Any team with Nathan Zeidema,
2-time. Respect.
any team with Nathan Zeidema, including last week's. Who do you play for? The Bashers? He played for the Bashers last week. That pretty much sums it up for you. My plug for the end of this podcast is Windmill Brewery. Get
Caleb, anything.
Get your merch.
Caleb, you have 30 seconds. Plug anything you want.
CD
Matt's Snap story he's showing me right now. Lord, God bless.
CDVG is going to be selling merch for Windmill Brewing
Wow,
Brewery.
get them out on Cedar Lake.
at
be low.
Wednesday's game.
Okay, Caleb's
There'll
plugging
be
Matt
Those
Dykes.
games.
Windmill Brewery merch.
Listen,
At
there would be no
Wednesday's
laws when drinking claws with them. Lord.
So Caleb plugs
My
Matt's
second
Snapchat.
plug would be for Mike Greer.
Anyway,
That's
Matt.
No, we're
You
still
have
doing
30 seconds.
We're still doing no, I have more than 30
No,
seconds.
you don't.
Um
You have 20 seconds.
Wait, I have one
I
final
was gonna
plug.
do a plug, but it's gonna be
I have one final plug for Hank.
please don't burn the house down.
We have
Dude,
8
crying out
seconds for him
Dude-
shutting this thing
Dude
off.
talks
8
louder than
seconds,
anyone
so
I've
I
ever
got,
met.
3 just to give a shout out to Beth.
For
I didn't have my 30.
Yes, you
I didn't have my
did.
30. No.
Okay,
no,
I'll give you 15
no,
more.
No.
All
Get
right,
it
I'm gonna
going.
go crank some 90s.
I'm
4,
no.
5.
I want to plug Charity Grand. Okay.
And that's
no,
going
we're
to do
not
it
done
for
yet.
going
We
corn.
got one more
done
question
yet.
back.
Can't-
We're not
We
done
got
yet,
one more
Greg.
Wait
question
for
back.
these playoffs to be
Someone
over.
Just, someone
All
just
right.
messaged
And
in
for
said,
Matt,
what is the
for Eric, for Caleb,
best,
this has
best
been
Leroy squad
Going
on
Corn.
Fortnite?
See ya.